smugglers operating out of Colombia.
Has formed a near monopoly on the processing and sale of cocaine.
The cocaine problem begins high in the Andes Mountains.
Illicit drugs and its trade are the single largest source of organized crime groups' funding around the world.
Cocaine trafficking, as all the drugs, you have traffickers that want to maximize profit while avoiding risk. The dynamic of trafficking organization is always to find the point of less resistance. Traditionally, cocaine produced in the Andean countries goes to the major cocaine user markets that are in the United States and Europe. And so around the 2000, West Africa has emerged as a transit hub for cocaine transiting to Europe. And a country that emerged particularly vulnerable to this trade has been Guinea-Bissau, with very direct link also with the Colombian cartel. And so they have established this connection, and then so tons of cocaine going through Guinea-Bissau with high impunity. And we started seeing European countries reporting that they were receiving their cocaine through West Africa. You have to think that, for example, a kilo of cocaine in Colombia is about $1,500 US. If you sell it in the United States, the same kilo could be around 150,000. In Europe, the same kilo may be around 100,000. So you see the great profit that traffickers can make with cocaine. And the majority of the cocaine that is produced goes to this major market. Suddenly last year we have seen two big seizures, one of almost 800 kilos and one of 1.8 tons of cocaine happening in Guinea-Bissau. And the biggest seizure that was mentioned, the 1.8 tons, according to the government officials, they said that the destination was to terrorist groups in the Sahel. Drug trafficking has an impact not only on the rule of law, on undermining the law enforcement institutions in a country, but also has an impact on the population itself that becomes increasingly used and addicted to the drug. What we need to solve the organized crime problem is working with the communities to understand what are the vulnerabilities of communities in terms of development, education, rule of law that can protect community. The United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime work in Guinea-Bissau, but also in the whole West Africa. First of all, to support countries to engage and to upgrade their skills in terms of law enforcement, in terms of judicial sectors, and so to provide training, but also to work with institutions to improve the legislation that is around not only drug trafficking, but also organized crime in general. Try to bring together all the intelligence community of the different countries, so to try to share intelligence so that together, they can be more effective. The symptoms of the drug trafficking and how much drug trafficking impact the nations in West Africa is also an issue of giving alternatives to people to establish licit and clean business instead of going to illicit business. It is an issue of providing the right rule of law, so to build institutions and the presence of the state that then can help actors in countries to go away from drug trafficking.